The Denver Broncos just dropped a bombshell on the first day of OTAs. They handed their best defensive player 10 million reasons to go out and absolutely dominate this league. And every single player in that locker room just took notice. If you love this kind of Broncos content, smash that like button, share this video with a fellow fan, and subscribe so you never miss a moment of the action. Right. So here is what went down. According to NFL Network's Ian Rappaport, the Denver Broncos have restructured and rewarded cornerback Patrick Surtain II with a contract adjustment that adds $5 million to his base salary this season. And that is not all. If Surtain earns a Pro Bowl or All-Pro selection next year, which, let's be completely real here, is about as close to a certainty as anything in professional football, he picks up another $5 million on top of that going into 2027. $10 million total, just sitting there waiting for a man who probably could have gotten even more if he had played hardball. And that is the thing that makes this story even more extraordinary. Patrick Surtain II is widely regarded as the single best cornerback walking the face of the earth right now. He has made 4 Pro Bowls in 5 NFL seasons. He has been a first-team All-Pro twice. When he signed his original 4-year, $96 million extension, he was the highest-paid defensive back in league history at that moment. He signed early. He signed team-friendly. He did not hold out. He did not manufacture drama. He trusted this organization. And now, with the cornerback market having exploded around him, with players like Sauce Gardner, J.C. Horn, Derek Stingley Jr., and Trent McDuffie all resetting the price at around $30 million per year, Surtain finds himself ranked as just the 5th highest-paid corner in the entire NFL, even though he is miles ahead of the field in terms of actual production. Even with this $5 million raise factored in, most people would argue he is still being underpaid. That is how elite this man is. So here is a question I want you to sit with for a moment. When was the last time you saw an NFL team voluntarily walk up to one of their stars and say, "You know what? You earned more than your contract says. Here it is." Because I cannot think of one. Not like this. Now, think about what this moment does beyond just Patrick Surtain II. Think about the ripple effect across that entire Denver locker room. Riley Moss has a new deal coming. Marvin Mims has a new deal coming. P.J. Locke, Brandon Jones, Jaquan McMillan, all of these guys are going to be sitting across the table from this front office at some point in the near future, and every single one of them just watched Denver open up their wallet for a player because he earned it, not because he demanded it. That changes everything about how those negotiations are going to feel. And then there is Bo Nix. A few years down the road, Bo Nix is going to be looking at a contract extension of his own. And after watching the organization treat Surtain this way, do you honestly think Nix is going to cause problems? He is going to be willing to work with this front office because this ownership group and this leadership team have made it abundantly clear, if you ball out, we have your back. Full stop. Question of the day, and I genuinely want you to answer this in the comments below. Do you think Patrick Surtain II is still underpaid even after this $10 million adjustment? Because the numbers suggest he absolutely is. Drop your answer down there and let's get a real conversation going. Now, on the cap side of things, the Broncos currently sit at around $25.6 million in available space after the post-June 1st designation on Dre Greenlaw's release officially processed and the team collected that savings. Depending on exactly where the Surtain money comes from within the books, that number could settle closer to $20 million, but either way Denver has serious flexibility right now. That is enough to add a marquee free agent, facilitate a trade and absorb a salary, or, and this is the move that actually makes the most sense given what is coming, roll that money forward into next season. Because next year gets tight in Denver. Between the Moss, Jones, McMillan, and Mims deals that need to get done, the Broncos would be looking at roughly $2 million in space without a rollover. Bring that $25 million forward and suddenly you are working with $27 million in room to operate. That is a real number. That is flexibility. And here is why this matters so much. This is a team that won 14 games last season. A team where, outside of one blowout loss to Jacksonville, they were never beaten by more than 7 points in a single game all year. This is not a roster that needs a panic move. This is not a team chasing a shiny object just to generate headlines. Speaking of shiny objects and headlines, let us talk about what the rest of the league was doing while Denver quietly rewarded greatness. The Los Angeles Rams, a team the Broncos will face this season, sent Jared Verse plus a 2027 first-round pick, a 2028 second-round pick, and a 2029 third-round pick to the Cleveland Browns to acquire Myles Garrett, who set the all-time single-season sack record last year with 23. That is a massive haul to give up, and honestly the Rams may have gotten a spectacular deal for a player of that caliber. But let's not forget, the last time Denver faced Myles Garrett, Garrett Bowles completely shut him down. So we are not panicking. Meanwhile, the New England Patriots traded a first-round pick and a fifth-round pick to the Philadelphia Eagles to land wide receiver A.J. Brown. Lot of people are looking at that deal and then looking at what the Broncos gave up for Jalen Waddle and saying Denver won that comparison in every possible direction. Younger player. Cheaper contract. Better locker room presence. Less draft capital surrendered. Nick Saban himself told Sean Payton that Waddle played through injury in a bowl game and was the most universally loved person in that Alabama locker room. The contrast with the situation in Philadelphia, where it sounds like people could not wait to move on, could not be more stark. Now, the one genuine concern with the Myles Garrett trade has nothing to do with what it means for Denver on the field. The concern is what it means for the AFC North. For 2 straight seasons, the Broncos have benefited from a division that was eating itself alive. The Browns, the Bengals, the Ravens, the Steelers, they were grinding each other down twice a year. Garrett was a nightmare for every one of those teams, including Joe Burrow and Lamar Jackson. Now he has gone to the NFC. And Trey Hendrickson, who used to terrorize AFC North quarterbacks as a Bengal, landed in Baltimore, meaning Lamar Jackson now faces Hendrickson 0 times a year while benefiting from him 0 times as well. The point is, the AFC North could be cleaner and more dangerous than it has been in years, which means the path to the playoffs could get more crowded. Denver cannot afford to stumble in the AFC West. Good news is, they are not going to. The Denver Broncos are building something real, something different, something that the rest of this league should be genuinely afraid of. They reward loyalty. They reward elite performance. And on the very first day of OTAs, with the whole football world watching blockbuster trades fly across the wire, Denver quietly sent a message that was louder than all of it: we take care of our own. Patrick Surtain II earned every dollar of this. And this Broncos team is just getting started.